It's World Cup season again for football fans, and this year's edition has been full of many firsts as the 2022 World Cup takes center stage in Qatar. What storylines should we watch out for? Well, let's find out. Joining us right now for an all-out discussion in this year's World Cup, he's back in the studio for I don't know how many years. Sports Says football analyst Cedelf Tupas. Naka-turtleneck. Anyong, opa. Welcome back, Cedi, my friend. Kamusta? Ang tagal na nating di nakita.
Well, it's been one hell of a ride so far. I've been with the Filipinas
that's
for the past.
But as an analyst, it's been a while.
It's been a while. I've been here, but going with them as their media handler. So,
oo nga pala. Naging driver ni Sagay this week. Kasama ni Taneanes. Tama. Okay, off to the World Cup. Excitement, walang tulugan. Sabi mo, napupuyat ka dahil puro World Cup ang pinapanood. Said, Brazil, yan ang choice ng marami sa Group G. Pero marami rin nagsasabi it won't be an easy group for them. Kagrupo nilang Switzerland. And they had a good Euro 2020 campaign. They took out France at Euro 2020 and it was a penalty shootout away from beating Spain. Nasa group din ng Serbia. Alam naman natin, matindi din ng Serbia with Mitrovic. Who's having a great season? Your take on this group?
Well, Brazil is the unanimous favorite for this year's World Cup. I think the talent on that team just incredible. Marami ng mataas lagi expectations with Brazil. They hosted the World Cup in the past and they actually failed spectacularly at home. It's been, I think, 20 years since they won it. So I think they're due for a big World Cup. So Neymar, Gabriel Jesus, with all the talent surrounding their attacking players, especially Neymar, who's always out to prove that he's one of the best players in the world. Talagang i-expect mo yung Brazil who will do well. But it's always a problem sa Brazil is that, especially with South American teams, I think it's more compared to European teams. Brazil and that part of the world, yung football is a religion, and it's much more of a creativity, yung style of play, but hindi mo pa nahanap yung organization and structure sa laro, compared to the European teams. I think that's the reason why European teams have been quite successful in the past few World Cups, because of the organization and the structure that actually negates individual talent and creativity. So titingnan natin how Brazil can overcome that and really showcase their brand of exciting football dito sa Qatar na World Cup.
Exciting. Okay, ito namang punta natin ng Group B. England is in Group B along with 3 other teams who are in the top 20. Mabibigat. Let's talk about how good this England team is and anong challenge ang pwedeng makuha dito. Kasama nila USA, who's ranked number 16, ranked number 19 Wales, and Iran, who is ranked number 20 in the world. Whew, it's a tough group.
Pinuyat ako ng group na to. Actually, good result for England last night. They won against Iran. So, may 9 p.m. game po, baka makalimutan nyo. Pwede kayo manood ng 9 p.m. game bago kayo matulog. May 12 midnight kickoff at may 3 a.m. So, 9 p.m. game last night, England beat Iran
6-2.
6-2. So, again, just like Brazil, this is a team with so much talent, especially on the attacking side. So, England is home to probably the best league in the world, which is the Premier League. So, etong team na to with so many players playing the Premier League and in mid-season form, kumbaga papunta sila sa World Cup, hindi na kailangan magpakondisyon. They're actually very sharp going into the World Cup. It's just different right now because November, December nga yung World Cup. Kasi usually June, July ito yung World Cup. So may oras mag-train ng mga teams. But now, they only have a week to prepare. So, ang maganda dito sa England, their players are coming in sharp and fit. And we saw that last night. They ran riot against Iran. Very rough start for an Asian team in Iran. And kanina, na pinuyat din ako, no, 3 a.m. kickoff, Wales against USA. I thought USA was, spectacular in the first half. They scored on Tim Weah's goal. Pero, Wales, it took them 64 years to get to the World Cup. Again. So, kung 70 years old ka, ikaw yung umabot ka doon sa unang
Grabe ka naman.
Last appearance. But when you talk about Wales, you saw the, national anthem pa lang kagabi, tumitindig na yung balahibo mo. With the way, with the emotion and the passion of this team. And it's a small country, but you know that they have a really proud footballing tradition, and they're led by their captain, Gareth Bale, who's probably gonna play his final one and only World Cup. So, if it took you 64 years to get to the World Cup, you want to make sure that you leave your mark.
Yeah, you make an impact.
Good story for Wales, but I think England's gonna take this group. It's a toss-up between USA and Wales for that second spot kung sino kasama ng England.
May patanong si Dennis Prince. Naabutan yata ni Dennis ang Wales sa World Cup. Joke lang. US now, they're young, they're promising, but are they experienced enough to make waves here in this World Cup?
Well, yun ang that has been the problem of the US. I think before, when they had teams that go to the World Cup with a lot of experience, this time they're relying so much on youth. They went on a transition phase because they missed the last World Cup. So parang wake-up call yun for the federation to invest and inject more youth on the team, and then that this is what we have now. These players, I think the youth is playing into their side because si Christian Pulisic, they all are fearless. Hindi natatakot magkamali. With the way that they played last night, I think they can play an entertaining style of football.
Mas loose, parang
and mabibilis eh.
Grabe. Mga bata eh. Hindi mapapagod condition.
Grabe pala tong there are a lot of the World Cup coverage now. It's very state of the art, very modern. Hopefully that's what happens also in the women's game sa next year.
Sa Women's World Cup.
So yung stats, yung distance covered ng players, andun lahat, makikita mo. It's all available. So kita mo kung how much ground teams cover now for games.
Okay, Group D with the defending champs France on top. Silang defending World Cup champions, France. You think kaya ng France? And with all the internal drama that they've had to deal with, do you think France can, also do it again?
Well, France, I think the internal drama isn't much of a factor. It's more of losing the Ballon d'Or winner in Karim Benzema. He's out for the tournament due to a thigh injury. I had a feeling that he was already injured. Na-re-injure lang siya nung training session because he's had ito naman yung downside ng World Cup, right smack in the middle of the season. Pag may injury ang player, hindi talaga siya makakalaro. He will miss the World Cup. So that's the case of Karim Benzema. So I think his loss is a bigger impact more than the internal drama. But France has a lot of talent there. Kylian Mbappe, who we've talked about in the last World Cup, and he's back again. Being part of, I think he's matured a lot, and he can lead this team. It's a very experienced team now compared to last time. Na medyo they've earned. I tell you, isa sa mga pinakamahirap pasukan na national team, to get selected for this France team. It's very difficult. So, obviously this is the best of the best. They miss out on Paul Pogba, who's still injured, but there's more than enough talent there to do a repeat.
How about, we're talking about talent, and speaking of talent, punta tayo sa legendary players. Hindi natin pwedeng pag-usapan ng World Cup nang hindi pag-usapan si Lionel Messi at si Cristiano Ronaldo. Reports are indicating this could, kanina nabanggit mo nga, baka final na rin or first and only ni Gareth Bale. Ito na yung last. Sad, dahil tumatanda na tayo, tumatanda na rin sila, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. If you look at it deeply, parang pwedeng added motivation yan for their teams. Do you think it could be a ploy para, send-off na rin, respective send-off for both Messi, Ronaldo, di ba, parang ganahan naman yung mga teammates on a positive note. Let's have a great World Cup for Messi, for Ronaldo.
Well, no, especially for Argentina, you
Yeah.
know, how much they love Messi, you know, as their captain. It's they want to send him off on a very right note, and you know, legacy of Messi is already secure.
Oh, yeah.
But you wanna put like an added glitter to that with the World Cup trophy. You know, he helped them reach the final in 2014, and it's been it's been a great sight to see Messi just captivate the world with his skills, and I'm so excited. I'm actually watching him
Wow.
on Saturday, so
Yabang, ah.
live.
You'll be there.
Yeah, I'm watching Argentina, Mexico. So it's actually those are my two picks. Kasi the next day it's Portugal, Uruguay to watch Ronaldo naman.
Ronaldo, yeah.
Yeah, and then Ronaldo, there's a lot of drama. Siya ang maraming bit-bit na baggage going into this tournament because he did his interview with Piers Morgan when he blasted Manchester United, his club, going to the World Cup. So a lot of the talk, in the Portugal camp has centered around Ronaldo's that interview.
Yeah.
So that's taken away a lot of the focus on Portugal. But in terms of talent, right now Portugal is probably one of the best, has the best lineup in the world. No, Bruno Fernandes, there, Joao Felix. So ang daming, even without Ronaldo, pwede kong sabihin na Portugal can go all the way. No, he is an added piece, but buo tong Portugal team na to, no. But it's just that kailangan mo siyang ilaro si Ronaldo. Kailangan mo siyang ilaro. Unlike Messi na parang integral part pa rin siya.
Na kailangan si Messi.
Kailangan pa rin siya. So dalawa 'yon, dalawang mabigat na tao na kailangan mong i-accommodate, but they deserve to have a great send-off. No?
Of course,
Spectacular
yes.
careers for both of them.
Of course. Let's take a look naman at the Asian teams in the World Cup. Siyempre, walang Pilipinas. Pero pag-usapan natin, Iran, Japan, South Korea, siyempre yung host country, Qatar, and China, among many Asian teams here. Sino yung expect mo realistically to perform well at sino naman yung dark horse? Bago natin pag-usapan yung ang daming hype dito kay Kubo, kay Takefusa Kubo. Mamaya natin daanan. Pero yung sino sa tingin mo muna dito sa Asian teams na nabanggit ko, yung can actually, have a successful run at this year's World Cup?
Well, Iran fell last night, so medyo hindi maganda yung
Grabe naman yung group niya
yung start ng Iran. I think the South Korea with Son Heung-min is there to really represent Asia very well. Saudi Arabia nandun din, no, and they can create, they had good results leading into the World Cup, so pwede rin mag-create ng impact yon. And it's a World Cup in the Middle East as well, so magandang storyline for them. No, Qatar didn't do well in the first game. I think they got nerves, no, medyo yung first game jitters talaga dun, evident talaga, parang hindi nila alam kung ano gagawin nila against Ecuador. I thought it was an evenly matched, in terms of personnel, but I experience ng Ecuador na naig doon. But I see Korea and Japan really doing well. It's just that when they run into European teams in the knockout round, medyo dun sila nalulugi. So they have to get over that hump. But I like the Asian representation in the World Cup. I just hope that someday tayo din makasama dyan.
Para nandun ka, no? Ikaw ang
hindi
maging
naman.
official correspondent natin doon. Said, okay, Japan's Takefusa Kubo. Grabe yung hype dito kay Kubo. And I think magaling, talagang deservingly so. Sabi nga, tawag sa kanya Japanese Messi. This is the first World Cup appearance for him. 21 years of age, batang-bata pa. So we want to know, how good really is this kid, Takefusa Kubo? Talagang nga bang, kumbaga, is he worthy of him being called as the Japanese or Asian Lionel Messi, in your opinion?
Well, etong si Kubo, he's been tracked for the longest time. I mean, the spotlight has been on him for the last 7 to 8 years. And, when expectations and yung hype na sa'yo, it's gonna be, it's tough. It's tough. So, but I think he's done well for himself. He's matured a lot, having gone through so many phases in his career. Nag-start, with Barcelona, went back to Japan, went to Real Madrid, and then now settling in Spain with Real Sociedad. So he's gotten off to a really good start this season. Played 12 games, 2 goals, 2 assists, and with Kubo, I think when you have a player like that in a Japanese side, which is actually filled with players playing in the domestic league. Every time na may lagyan mo ng ganong klaseng player yung an Asian team, it just does a lot to the confidence and yung belief ng team that they can keep up with these European and South American powerhouse teams. So I think Kubo gives them creativity, the technical ability, the pace. So this is his stage now. If he wants to really live up to the hype from when he was in his teenage years, now is the perfect platform for him to shine.
Well, thank you for being here, Ced. Bigay ka lang ng bansa. Few seconds left. Sino mananalo ng World Cup?
England ako.
England. Okay. Sabi ni Cedelf Tupas, England. Have a safe trip. Enjoy the World Cup in Qatar. Thank you for joining us live in the studio after so many years. Again, football analyst Cedelf Tupas.